here with the You Will Make It TV YouTube channel family, where we share inspirational quotes, divine messages, and insightful topics weekly. We just pretty much cover all kind of stories, global stories, historic stories, and even our reactions and thoughts to everyday commentary on the internet. So, if that's the kind of insightful topics you're looking for in a great audio podcast, you found a good channel. Just remember to hit that golden subscribe bell. That way you receive notifications when you jump on YouTube and we post new content, okay? We'll be right back. We'll let some people get in the chat. I attempted to record this segment the other day. There was some audio issues because pretty much I went back and listened to it. Don't think I don't be paying attention, y'all, but I went and listened to it. It had a lot of static and breakages in the audio, so I'm going to attempt to record this topic again while we have a second. Happy Sunday, December 21st, 2025 to you guys. 2025 is almost gone, so we're just making the most of what we have left, and that's what you call gratefulness. Merry early Christmas to all of our subscribers. It's not too late to email us at boozecustombaskets11 at gmail.com or tetasheriw@gmail.com. Uh, this is where you can contact me for more info about how to purchase a raffle ticket because y'all know what? December 22nd came soon. So I'm gonna probably change the date or just keep the raffle going all the way through Christmas and just to let the name on Christmas because I want to give people more time to purchase a raffle ticket if they might still be interested and enter for a chance to win one of our very own custom made Christmas basket gift sets. So don't forget about that. Even if you're not interested, you might want to enter the raffle. It's a great Christmas present for a friend, family member, or neighbor in 2026. Okay. I mean, in 2025, but stay tuned for more content, vlogs for sure. I want to get more on it with the mommying entrepreneur vlogs just to show people, I guess, more of what it's like because I don't want to sleep on my experiences. Like every bit counts. But we'll be right back. I'm gonna give people time to come in the chat. We tried to record this the other day. It was just a lot of static and audio in my microphone. So I'm gonna retry this today. Rest in peace, Easy. The sound quality is better at this attempt to record my reaction, commentary, and opinions. You know what I'm saying? We like to do that on our live streams over here about different topics, different real raw stories. Okay. Some of these stories, I mean, I have my own story, but the point is we take the insightful parts, we digest these stories. It's not always about trying to be master detective and see what happened to everybody. You feel me? We just know what the news reports, really, what the media tells us. The rest is technically, we all have to admit, it's for us. They just leave us with the news. It's up to you if you want to go out and be a difference or make a difference in the world. Uh, but other than that, yeah, that's just the news reporter's job to let you kind of know what's going on. But this is a safe space. We try to create a safe space here at You Will Make It TV for people to not only come in and listen in, that's why the chat is always open as well too. And we share some contact information in case you are interested in possibly learning a little bit more about what Ultimate TV has to offer. For example, we're still accepting coats, jackets, vests, all that good stuff for winter for the, I don't like to say poor and needy, but I want to say the less fortunate, okay? Because I wouldn't want to be labeled just poor and needy either. But uh, we will make good use of them because that's why we're encouraging. You can send any size, any brand, it doesn't matter. We do ask that donations are lightly used, at least. It doesn't have to be brand new, but maybe lightly or gently used. Um, you can email us at justjackets@gmail.com for more information on where you can send donations for those. Also, Boo's Custom Baskets. I said this email at the beginning of the stream. I just wanted to put it out there one more time. Boo's, BOOS, Boo's Custom Baskets 11 at gmail.com. Okay. For those Christmas basket raffle tickets that are only $1, 3 max entries only allowed per entry or whatever. So you won't spend more than $3 if you are looking for somewhere to be contributable as well, like buying a raffle ticket for a stranger, your neighbor. It's still a nice Christmas gesture because they might win the raffle. And guess what? We're going to announce our winner. The original date and time was December 22nd, which is tomorrow. But I actually want to leave it open through Christmas. I love being an entrepreneur because you can't switch stuff up like that if you need to for the people. And that's what was always great about me. Any little personal ventures I've ever done, entrepreneurship, I'm just grateful for the experience. Some people say if you ain't making no money, you ain't doing nothing. But the experiences are what teach you and shape you. Everybody's successful entrepreneur ventures stories are different. And yeah, I just enjoyed the experience that came with a lot of things. I've made money too, but I'm just saying it's great to be back with the custom baskets. I kind of miss making money. That's my point. I miss making money. Making those baskets, the people really used to love the sports themed baskets we used to do for Father's Day. All of those they supported us back then. A lot of people might not even know who I am, but because I'm telling y'all, as an entrepreneur, I've actually gone out and offered services and products. People probably saw me at one time because I was more of get in my car and go out there and find those customers and clients back then. But now the only thing that's changed about me is I've just kind of more learned to, and I'm not just talking about YouTube specifically, but it shows. It shows that I have some type of long-term, short-term goal to turn Crown Publishing content as a whole into a more uh we just want to have an internet presence. You feel me? Like my old days of entrepreneurship, it ain't nothing wrong with going out and talking to people like I used to try to get electricity customers, get them to switch, whatever it was I was doing, because I was always doing something. From selling electricity to maybe selling hair products, you name it. I don't know. I just feel like and people try to say, oh, it's so hard for single mothers. It don't have to be. You can turn anything into work. You can, and when you work for yourself, that flexibility in your schedule is going to be a big plus because a lot of people have children, but they don't get specific, like what are the age ranges of the children. I've seen some people with a 16-year-old and a 2-year-old, and it's like, I wonder what their household is like. But yeah, enough about me, enough about You Will Make It TV, enough about Boo's Custom Baskets. Custom baskets are available all year long. We just wanted to make sure we were promoting that service as well for the Christmas season, just to clarify. So you can order one anytime, birthday baskets, any occasion. Uh, we know Valentine's Day is around the corner and stuff like that. So I already have began rebranding a little bit and re-promoting those services. So I just wanted to put that out there. But yes, I tried to record this topic the other day and it had a lot of static and breakage and it's like you couldn't really hear my raw reaction to the Easy story, pretty much. So I'm not here to judge, let me say that first. But I love how they use his life story, not just in the streets, not just for the gangsters and all of this. They actually use his story to help to advocate in the healthcare world as well, as far as awareness about HIV and AIDS. And for whatever reason, Easy came to me. His memory, everything came to me. To be honest with people, I was like, just went on a binge of listening to his music just on yesterday, which I might not be through, but it's never a bad time to just sit back and vibe to some Easy music. Cause with me, I can almost, I don't know, like travel in time with the music, depending on. Because let's say you weren't around during Easy time, or you were too young to remember. Because I'm probably about his daughter's age, Evie, that daughter. She looked just like him too. But like where you were around, but you wouldn't just remember like what the music was doing for or to the people back then. But NWA does have their own story. You know what I'm saying? So I just have been binge watching documentaries, binge listening to NWA music. And it's so funny how like it just take you back in time. Like, look how much. What if Easy E was here right now to see how much? Because Ice Cube now is here. I'm saying, what if he was here to see exactly how much the world has changed since the introduction of their music? You feel me? Like it wasn't just rap and hip hop back then. NWA, you know what I'm saying, holds the title for or is well known for the type of rap, you see what I'm saying, in hip hop that they brought to the mainstream. Singles like F the Police and 6'4" and stuff like this. But you know what's crazy? It's just a great time to keep their memory alive. That is one celebrity that if I could ever meet, sorry y'all, I'm trying to stop this notification, but if I could ever meet a celebrity though, I mean, I don't know. It would be hard to just choose. But at the top 10, let's say the top three, Ice Cube would have to be one of the celebrities I meet. He would be on my top three list, to be honest. Easy E too, if he was here. But I would still love like to meet his kids and everything, man. It's just crazy. Like, but I want to meet Ice Cube though. He went through. He just seen things. His eyes, his soul. I did a quote about eyes that have seen a lot too soon and how it affects the soul. And I carried on to say that after seeing so much so soon, everything just begins to look like a thrill, a roller coaster ride. You just heard, like you've seen everything so soon. And what's crazy, I just thought it's crazy how the EVE research I was doing on his story led me to all the way. Let me tell y'all, my research went from researching EVE and NWA and everybody to straight up the what was that experiment called? The uh, Tuskegee experiment. That's the name of it. And maybe that's why I had so much static and breakage in the last time I tried to talk about it, but it's okay. I'm gonna re-record it. So I might not cover everything I covered on the last stream when I came and talked about ECE, but I'll try to keep it close because it's just my reaction. Nobody has to agree. Um, I just feel like that's the Easy conspiracy, man, is one to this day. It's just like Tupac. Why was it in the industry then? You know what? I actually remember the times we used to say some of these conspiracies were far fetched. I actually am old enough to remember the times that people said some of these conspiracies that surrounded Tupac and Eazy and Biggie. Once upon a time, people would be like, "No, y'all crazy." The people that would say they think Tupac's still alive, or they think this or that happened to Eazy. I don't know. We used to just look at them people like nuts. Because I used to think the same thing about people when they used to say that. You would just think that they missed that artist and they just don't want to accept that they're gone. And you would think they created these conspiracies just to find comfort in the fact that one of their favorite artists is gone. But no, people had a point, apparently. People had a point. I mean, and these conspiracies, rumors have been floating around for years, bro. It's so crazy. Like one recent interview I watched with they did with his son, he was just saying he's a firm believer that something more went on with his dad. Because people was like, how shortly after his diagnosis did he just died like that? Come on, man. But we have to remember, because I asked the same question and I went and researched it a little bit. And there are stages within us of HIV and AIDS. And if by the time you make it to medical personnel, it's in one of its latest stages, from what I was reading, it can be hard. It can be hard to save that person because uh, there's no telling how much damage has been done by the time it's in the last stage. But even with that being said, people still say it's strange that he died only weeks after finally getting a diagnosis. You feel me? And I was just like, what if he was here to see today, man? Because it's like people living. They got, they at least have medicines to help people, I guess, manage and maintain. It's just sad because we had to just lose Easy like that. But that's where that conspiracy was birthed, okay? People's main issue with this story is that, from my understanding, is that they didn't understand how he died so quick right after the diagnosis. It's like they hurry up and, you know, or that's another thing I want to ask people, like, what is y'all opinion? It's like, should they have maybe kept, I ain't gonna say kept quiet, but because when it comes to medical charts and history and stuff, you really do have a right to keep those type of revelations private. Do y'all think that was just leaked? Like, I guess they were saying they wanted his story to be shared for awareness, right? And especially in Black and low income, poverty stricken communities. Um, they wanted people kind of like, it make you wonder with some of these stories, like, did y'all just leak what happened to him? Because that's very personal. I don't care who you are. If you find out you have that, you actually, what the doctors are gonna tell you is just to make sure that you tell the partners that you might have been with. Like, they never say you have to go out there and tell the whole world. Like, yay, I just found out I contracted. It's no law that says that. Now, you might need to tell people if you're going to be sleeping with them or tell people that you slept with, but there's no law in the books yet that says no. Once you get this diagnosis, you got to tell the whole world, because a diagnosis is a diagnosis. Like, it could be cancer, it could be lupus, it could be anything. But when you're a mega superstar, I know they can keep that kind of information reserved if they want to, if it has to do with their medical history reports. But I think when it's stuff like that, though, what they just owe the world an explanation of what's going on with their health because they're celebrities. All they really are entitled, the only people they really entitled to share their status with is people who may be potential partners, romantic partners with them. Because if Easy E was here today, man, like, it's like people, I don't know if it's a lack of, yeah, we can't even say that, but I was going to say it could be a lack of just sexual education awareness. Like, the the signs that show it, just looking at how the people are. Like right now with this new SpongeBob movie, everybody's saying it's inappropriate because SpongeBob and Patrick had on bikinis, but I'm trying to tell people the point of the movie. I mean, the point of SpongeBob is to see. They wear bikinis, they wear bathing suits, they wear swimwear. Like, Plus, Nickelodeon always been known to produce more mature content, but they still label everything PG. And it's like even the producers are getting it wrong because people feel like that SpongeBob movie wasn't PG. Now, I haven't personally seen it yet. I know the first SpongeBob movie they did though, it was pretty PG. The only thing I felt was like kind of mature or a little mature for kids was when SpongeBob and Patrick went to that bar, that Goofy Goober place, and they was eating all that, drinking all them ice creams, like, and they made it almost as if Patrick and SpongeBob was getting drunk. But I didn't think they was like, inappropriate. I thought it was a funny joke. So that's the kind of jokes we used to SpongeBob been doing. Not all these bikini, half naked. I mean, come on, bro. It's really crazy though, because they wear bikinis and swimwear in the cartoon. If you really pay attention, the only one to be fully covered up is Sandy, and she have her astronaut outfit on every episode. Mr. Krabs be fully dressed. You feel me? But they was just saying when Ice Spice showed up in to the premiere of the movie, whatever, some big premiere, she had on a bikini. That's what I saw. She had on a bikini with some kind of see-through shawl over it. It's crazy, right? Because the Nick fans, and y'all know SpongeBob has billions of fans, bro. Like, even adults love SpongeBob. So it's crazy for adults to be calling out how they felt like certain scenes were inappropriate. And I was like, no, they did not do this to SpongeBob, bro. Like, they're gonna hear it for a minute. They're gonna hear it for a minute. That's not a cartoon that you play with because people love SpongeBob. Now I have no problem with Ice Spice and everything. I just feel like y'all know she known for that though. Like she's known to dress that way. So maybe they feel like it was appropriate for a whole swim theme, beach theme TV show. You know, what is my point? Well, that's exactly what we need. They say it's a billboard somewhere. They're showing it on TikTok. It's like a promotional billboard of the SpongeBob movie. And it has SpongeBob laying down with a gift bowl around his waist with no pants on. Because, his name is SpongeBob SquarePants. But he didn't even have pants on. They say he just had on like a gift bowl wrap around his waist. And they got him on a picture on a big, a billboard is one of them things you see in real tall poster board ads when you riding down the freeways or the roads. So for them to have it that visible, I mean, what is a kid? It's just crazy. And then even the little theme song, Big Guy, people were saying that is inappropriate too. Come on now, when you think about the SpongeBob SquarePants theme song that we all know, who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Okay, there's nothing inappropriate or sexual. It doesn't give sexual vibes, sexual jokes. When you think of that type of anime, you think Family Guy, South Park, not SpongeBob. But it is like they're kind of trying to push it a little more. But they say SpongeBob has always pretty much promoted like LGBT friendly content, pretty much. Like you might not see a lot of the little characters in the show dating, but SpongeBob is often referenced with the rainbow in a lot of his episodes. And you know how the rainbow is supposed to be like a logo for the pride theme, the LGBTQ theme. But what are y'all opinions? Do you think more fans will walk away from SpongeBob just because if they ever do choose to go that far and make the TV show a little bit more LGBTQ friendly? Y'all think they would keep the same amount of fans, or would people not like that? Because just this little bit and how Ice Spice showed up to the premiere, they liked it. They said it is not appropriate for kids. And Nickelodeon is supposed to be like a TV network for kids. So, but I would say maybe they just need to change the rating to say mature kids, or because people were really confused. They do the same thing with Disney. They have not been letting these Cartoon Network platforms slide with it. Why? Because if you're promoting that into the environment, into the atmosphere, into the faces of society, where people's kids have always resided, right here in society, then what are you really encouraging? It's like it's undeniable the way they was pushing like sexually themed jokes, even through the most recent release of the new SpongeBob movie. That's what people say. You know, people had reviews. I was already on it. Because the movie just came out Friday and today is Sunday or whatever. But I was already reading the reviews because I wanted to take my kids to see it this weekend. But I'm actually kind of glad I waited before I spend money and everything. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like we will still end up seeing it. I feel like we're gonna, yeah, because we're just very big SpongeBob fans over here. We ended up buying the little popcorn buckets from because we do plan to go see it. I just don't know when. I know it'll be in theaters at least for the next 30 days. So we ain't worried about it. Act like they gotta go soon as it's released. With but like I said, with SpongeBob, I'm surprised we wasn't there. As big as fans as we are, me and the kids love SpongeBob and Patrick. I mean, we love the whole show. But back to what I was saying, what if Easy E was like here to see this? Because even around the times he was here, I don't think they were pushing so much like quote unquote sexual content through the cartoons, like inappropriate gestures and jokes. They weren't really doing it back then. They weren't doing that in the cartoons yet in the early 90s. Because they say his expiration date was somewhere along the lines of 95, 1995. But if only he was here today to see this, like, oh, they out here telling us oh yeah, that's what I was saying the first time I recorded this. What I have a problem with. Y'all told us this man died of HIV or AIDS. And it's like people are still not buying their story because look, Magic Johnson's lived a long time with it. Now they got medicines helping people live longer with it. Medicine wasn't that advanced back then, I guess, but some people just feel like because I brought up how there was a story in London somewhere earlier this year of a man running around sticking people with needles at a mass event. This was either in Paris, France, or London. It definitely was this sometime in 2025. Y'all can go look it up. I think like a large group of people ended up having to go for emergency care because they were stuck. Somebody stuck them with a needle at a mass concert festival. What was it? It was some kind of music festival. And when you go to stuff like that, you know, you try to go prepared, probably with a pepper spray or something. Because I'm gonna be honest, I've never really. It's just been a while since I've been to a concert, but I know that people don't go with the mind frame of, oh, let me go wear 5 layers of clothes in case somebody has a need. Like you just don't think this stuff. But I've been encouraging people to stop, just be a little more vigilant or do a little more research before you go to these music festivals and concerts. And when I say research, are they going to have security type questions? And if they are going to have security, is it going to be enough security? You know what I'm saying? I mean, people should just look into that type of stuff. But you would spend three, four, $500 on a ticket just to go. You might as well invest in the research, because one thing the concert people can never tell you is what kind of other people are going to be attending. Just because you're a fan of somebody don't mean it ain't other fans that's going to be at the concert. That's actually crazy. I don't know, but this person at the music festival that happened in Paris, London, or France actually ended up injuring a bunch of people. I never seen an update about that story, but I hope they were all okay. Because if a random stranger just poking You never know what they poach you with. You feel me? You just never know. So he has surviving kids, family, and everything, and from the You Will Make It TV channel. Shout out to the Easy E family out there. Even his family over at NWA. Um, but I know they probably haven't said as much as they would like to. And at the time, none of them just believe that man. It's crazy to say a person passed away. Every After everybody passed away, they have something called the cause of death. They have to write the cause of death on the sheet, and that's what gets me. It's like what they wrote was the cause of death. Seems very suspicious with Easy E story. You know if they ever open that case back up, because a lot of people probably thought the Tupac Biggie thing was over and done for, and that's crazy. It's like 10 plus years that went by. It was just always an unsolved mystery. And I think this Easy E thing is going to be another one of those things that get brought back up. As far as quote unquote infections in the industry, people already been wondering when it comes to STDs and stuff like that in the industry. Look at this stuff that's been coming out. Allegations and allegations with P. Diddy victims. You feel me? Somebody was saying that maybe they were having, because back then they was doing more than Playboy parties and stuff. But either way, rappers have always been very known to be associated with parties, big, huge parties with lots of women. I was asking on the last stream, why is like women and strippers and dancers one of the first things they offer you once you sign some type of rap deal? And we're just supposed to believe people died of AIDS and stuff. I'll be right back, guys. I'm back like I never left. Only he was here though to see like how much they actually push this exact type of content out. Okay, so what I was saying, seeing disrespectful was like y'all made it like, oh, he just slept with a bunch of women, he ended up catching something. But anyways, they had to throw that narrative away though too, because it's been said allegedly they tested some of the last women he was with, and they didn't have it. But see, that don't always mean anything, do it. Let's really think about it and talk science and healthcare for a second. Because another thing we've noticed with science and healthcare too. Like doctors can tell you, some of them have shared stories of things they've experienced during their course, and they can't tell us everything, but they'll tell you about certain experiences if that makes sense. And especially with TikTok and social media out here now, they'll definitely tell you about an experience. So he was just giving a testimony or what he considered a testimony. Like he saw the miracle right before his eyes type of deal. Like, oh man, test results was one thing the day before, and then the next day when the man came back, whatever it was gone. Like he said he's seen stuff like this, or he's seen people die on the operating table and then come back. Or, a doctor could look at resuscitating somebody or doing that electrical shock and bringing them back to life as just his job. But actually, there's more going on when something like that happens because not everybody they try to resuscitate and bring back comes back. But there are people who die, even if it's just 10, 20 seconds, and they bring them back. Still technically died. It's just usually a celebration in a medical room somewhere when it happens. Okay. So to me, medicine and science is great until there's stories that are still unexplainable and mysteries to this day because people pull through where they weren't even expected to. Like some people be given whole time frames, like you got 6 more months or 1 year or 2 more weeks. Doctors do that. That's their job. But even they can testify and testament that there are some people that pull through impossible looking medical situations. Okay? Because, like, they can try surgery. Some people die on the operating table. That is sad. Some people do. And some, they might just got close. Or, because you can overbleed any little accident, any unexpected thing. That's why people sometimes they pray even if it's just a small minor surgery, they go ahead and pray. And, you know, why? Because people believe in miracles too. Anyways, it's not always what they even say. I'm just mentioning that as a part of my commentary today too. Reaction to Easy's story, or the part of this side of the story, right? And he was a star. You feel me? Like he was a well-known, famous. You know, that's when you really see too who care about you. But the strong people too, though, because I can see Easy was probably like the, like, and they was trying to say that like we had got to the eventual point of him just going ahead and breaking down and having to reveal to those all those closest to him. He went ahead. That's why I was saying that he probably. I know the ones closest to him. He told him, but all the media and everybody. You feel me? Because a person's health status too, don't you gotta get their consent? Them people just go with stories and run with it too. Back in the day, they used to call them tabloids or Inquirer type. You know, you can find a tabloid magazine in the front of most retailers back then. And Easy E Town, back when his music was first being dropped and stuff out here, yeah, they had whole magazine stores. If you've ever watched the Wayans Brother TV show, they have markets in New York and places like this, San Francisco, where they might have newspaper stands easily in the early 90s, later 80s, uh, those times, because you didn't have Instagram, Facebook, all these other, I'm not just saying social media apps, but even you didn't have all the same sources exist and new ones since maybe even the 70s. But the the access people have to it, like people wouldn't just prefer to go buy a magazine today, but people still do. Some people still get magazines and newspapers. subscriptions as we speak. They still pay for this. Others, they go to the convenience of their phone. If they want to go see the news, the weather, the sports score from last night, they can just look it on their phone. You see? But no, that does not mean newspapers and magazines and stuff have gone out of business. But there was a particular line of magazines that were called, they referenced them as tabloids, where it's like you just knew better than to, it was just more, it was meant to be a dramatic type of, nobody looked at it like, oh, this magazine is lying on me. It would just, and they would sell too, but people buy this, it would say stupid stuff like, Oprah meets Godzilla. You know, it's a tabloid. Tabloids probably advanced into memes, social media posts, and just people's opinions about things. But to me, that's just my reaction to this, right? Even if I was on a round table talk podcast with other people with their opinions about this right here, right now, I would say the same thing. Like this would be my personal assessment. Uh, was it okay? Like sometimes big, oh, okay, they got shot. They left here because like we were talking about how cause of death is a whole thing for everybody. When it's done right, I guess that's what I'm trying to say. That's how it should go. And even funeral homes, everybody knows the gangster rap and everything. Because it's been rappers still dying today, all kind of ways. More modern day times since Easy and just other artists. But we wanted to say predominantly rappers because that's like saying no other type of musician dies. Like, come on, bro. We're talking about the causes of death. Come on, bro. Uh-oh. Knowing death or looking the perception of it being a little different now, it helps me to look at that because the statistics are real too. Oh, you're just making it a racial thing until you pull up statistics. Though. Then you have statistics for different geographic locations and territories. Right. And those statistics are all of us little people. That's all that is. But I mean, you don't have, when I say little, I don't mean the financial class or nothing. It's just that type of stuff show us too that action is louder than words. Yet people still, there is a lot of money in words because people communicate it. They say actions, no, 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 no. It's the actions that's rich. But the words is what everybody chases. Come on now. Some of these quotes, I just be like, so that's what I like to do. Like just study like quotes that's been around for many, many years and their origins. Really. And when you look at a lot of old time quotes or people that were quoted and look at what they said, most times though, it will make sense or you might feel like you can relate to it. That's the thing. But some of these quotes people haven't found. That's why it'll say anonymous. Uh, they still to this day haven't found, right? Like the author or the writer or who said this, right? But they still say actions speak louder than words. See, you will make it TV is not here to doubt anybody, challenge anybody, nothing like that. We ourselves and in my own way as a writer, uh, I already be calling myself a little philosopher though, because I just be like, you think I just do this to rattle people or something? No. Uh, rattle your mind maybe a little bit, because I'm sure the brain is in its best state warm. Like, we can rattle it, it don't need this cold or something. Like, let's just think a little more or put more in insight into our life experiences, right? That's all. Action is real, but who can really stop you from like just looking at reality? Like you have to stand right there, like where you are. It just makes it easy to go ahead and enjoy the present. But yeah, I think they were saying Easy would have been about 60 or somewhere in there right about now. Probably no more than 50 right now, right? Like he got kids probably me and people my uh, age now, you know? Had a person even like did they go through the right procedures to even release that information like that? If the artist don't agree to that, like that's their personal, that's the thing. Either way, it's their choice. It should be. They shouldn't have to come out. Remember that man that played in Black Panther? What's his name? Uh, what's his name? Chad? I forgot his name. You know what I'm talking about. He played in Black Panther. He was the main actor in it. Rest in peace to him too, right? That's what I was saying. Like how you live here, that's already sad. I mean, well, you just leaving here is already sad. Like, with other artists, we all these different artists. Oh, they should be here because he was only 30 years old. But I asked that question too, just to make us think a little bit more in even Gen Z, all our world right now, future. This just wasn't long ago, but it's been a while. You see, why as soon as they get the deal and everything, you got a million minutes. Like, they don't even got to be the first one you focus on. Like, but you're trying to tell us, like, yeah, this is why, this is how they made. Like, if that's a person's story, you cannot. That's not something that's out of control of the narrative. You don't know how. That's all people saying with Easy story. You don't know how that person contracted that. Because just trying to tell a person this person diagnosis is just the first part. Like, oh, okay, you got that diagnosis. Now, usually the next thing, okay, where, how, and it's crazy if they tested a few women around them and they weren't positive. But that's the thing about that too. You cannot be positive at that time, be positive later. So I think it's just still personal with them. Like how people probably could have even respected the rights a little more. Like why was it such a push and rush on like? But it usually is with celebrity like passings. Like people gonna ask, oh, what happened? And it's just like, oh, it was a sickness. It was this or that. And they announced it. They publicly announced it. Like now, usually they don't always do that much because it's like a lot of people know you famous. But sometimes they'll go a step further, like then they have more privacy, or they might ask for more privacy. Uh, that is a part of some people's grieving processes. They might ask for more privacy and only have a select number of people at a funeral or homegoing services. Not everybody does it where, yeah, let the whole world sure everybody come out to, some people feel it's gonna be like thousands of people out there, like not even just in the chapel or the location of the services. They'd be outside, it depends who it is. Like when Queen Elizabeth died, I don't know if y'all seen the ceremonies on TV and everything. You didn't see everything, but at least what was the public like when she was going in. It was just people outside, and they was all staying like lines down the street, just like how big their weddings are, other big occasions in royalty. But that was interesting because some people they have really big ceremonies for like that. Like there's a lot of people showed up just to show love. Like him, if you do further research and just they try to spread awareness. You know what I'm saying? They've been doing that for years. I guess they might use his story like, but I don't like that for my own reasons because it's like, yeah, that's one fact. They can test the other people and see they didn't have what you had, but they still don't mean because they could mean they just didn't have it at the time or something. They didn't have it at the time. You can he didn't have it. That's crazy. Or none of the other ladies showed symptoms or was sick or didn't test positive. It could have been the same like type of deal. And they just what they ain't said in the women when they in the industry like I don't believe that about everybody. I even had like baby mamas like I don't know. I don't know. Cause y'all like how you don't believe it? Look at young boy and Nick Kim. Like it ain't it, It's still not you like just being everywhere. You got kids with them. You feel me? I'm just talking about what we're showing sometimes. Man, maybe it is true. We don't see everything that celebrities doing in their life. But you just assume that too. You would assume, oh, that's a rapper. You know, you got a bunch of women behind the scenes, blah, blah, blah. You could be living a more just independent lifestyle. There don't mean that people ain't gonna throw themselves at you. You always celebrity or you got money. But I'm saying this how it's a home. Or is it? Like why is women wanting to women or strippers and dancers and stuff, entourages and women, I guess they come not just with the lifestyle, but sometimes you need that in the promotion and publicity. When you're a rapper, that's understandable. You have to provide work for others, but it never had to go further than that, really, where there's just all over the place when, or somebody get hurt or sick. Like, come on, man. But we can see how you would easily probably slip into that mentality too. Like, yeah, I'm gonna just have all these women. I'm gonna date around the industry because who knows how what they do, how they do too. We all people. That's the point of awareness too. Me, if there's no extra hyperactive sexual activity, images, similes, and stuff that's on in commercials and cartoons, and just anywhere people can get it today, that's a part of the problem. If you real, bro, like, wow, I'm just thinking what reality seems to show us. This is not good to tell that story. Then we just make you want to research more. You transmit, they have the educated things they tell us, like how it can be transmitted. But, then I just be like, well, if the person really wants to do this, no, they don't just tell you the book away. But that's a part of awareness too. If it's just people out there want to give people this stuff and do that, people do need to know that. It's crazy, bro. It's like a whole human rights violation. It's on the person too, because you need to get to know and see what's going on with people that you choose to indulge with. But if it ain't your choice, that's the only other thing it could be. How else do you hold? You know what I'm saying? Contract something, bro, and then put it all over the world that that's how your person will. You know, I ain't never heard nobody say it, but that's what I think now that I'm older and go back and look at the story, like really because his health diagnosis was a certain thing. And health people do have a right to confidentiality, privacy, and yeah, it's their right. They can even deny care if they want to. They don't have to get treatment or care. You can tell that person what you think they need. That's all the doctor can do. You can write the prescription. Why you gonna just lock them up because they didn't go pick the prescription or they said no, I don't want this vaccine, I don't want this treatment. It could be anything too. Like they could say you need radioactive treatment, chemotherapy, for other things because that is serious. Some people deny it. They probably just don't hear about it all the time. Just as much people choose to get care, it's just the same amount of people who actually can't afford all these treatments and stuff too. And the healthcare itself is changing too. There's a lot of changes also in that world going on in the healthcare industry with Medicare, premiums, and people's insurance, all that. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's not the same anyway. I guess for anybody to, if they can help it, just the better things they can do with their health. It's been time for people to do this, but industry too. They just changed something like nursing is no longer considered a certain status in college anymore, and it just has a lot to do with the funding and things for people to be able to go to school for nursing. That's all. But it is kind of a big deal. So it's just a lot. It's not going to be. Oh, that's what it is. It's not going to be considered a professional degree. It doesn't mean it's not going to be considered a professional career. We did a lot of topic about that actually. Feel free to tune into previously recorded segments just like these, where we have covered other insightful topics, reports, and stories. Okay, just reaction commentary, good old reaction audios to real life issues out here in the world. But if it was here to see this stuff, it's even changes in healthcare right now. It's expensive for anybody, even even a rich person, right? Like, and we know it costs more for them because they want if they don't spend it, they want the best care, right? And stories of people getting arrested for trying to, and people like Easy E's not even here to see this. What, baby? Uh, people doing fake veneers, fake dentists, fake nurses, they checking their credentials. They done made fake degrees and papers. That happened somewhere in Florida a few years back. They was catching people on these jobs that are supposed to be certified and stuff with certain training weren't really. It's just crazy, you know, because every life does matter. But I'll be back for the part two. Thank you for tuning in.